global satsang of two makes a satsang. And then if you add YouTube, it's global. This is readings from Darshan Singh. Sant Darshan Singh, running commentary of the mind. Spiritual Awakening, chapter 25. Sant Darshan Singh says, if we examine the nature of the mind, we will find out why it keeps us from progressing spiritually. As our soul is the same essence as God, mind is the same essence as Brahm. Brahm's function is to keep the lower worlds going, to see that no soul escapes from his control. So long as souls remain in his control, they continue revolving in the cycle of 8.4 million species of life. The mind, which is of Brahm's essence, tries to distract us from progressing on the spiritual path. It tries to distract us from our goal and keeps it engrossed in the external world of senses and illusion. The soul, meanwhile, has the desire to go inward to the spiritual realms. Thus, two governments are being run simultaneously within us. We have two governments. So there is a two-government system, right? The positive system trying to take us to God, and the negative system, or negative power, which tries to keep us in the outer world. It's a polygovernmental. The mind is no small thing. It is strong and does its best to entangle us in one temptation or the other. And this life is strewn with temptations at every step. While we are in the human body, our mind and soul are interwoven. Both become subject to the senses and illusion of the world. The senses of sight, audition, taste, and touch, and smell are so strong they attract our attention outside. We become identified with the body, and the result is we forget that we are soul and not the body. It is not an easy task to separate the soul from the body. Mind is like a 1,000-headed cobra, which plays all sorts of tricks to keep us from gaining right understanding. It is said that Lord Krishna domesticated the 1,000-headed cobra, the mind, with the music of the lute, or flute. And that flute is the divine sound we listen to at the fourth stage beyond Brahm. It is the living master who can put us in contact with the divine sound and help us rise above body consciousness. We then realize our body is only a rented house, which we have to vacate as soon as the final call comes. The master helps us to separate our soul from our mind, body, and illusion. We then regain full consciousness. Even after finding a living master and embarking on a spiritual journey, difficulties arise because of the mind's waywardness. Our soul wants to fly into the heavens, and our mind wants to keep us chained to this world. It has many tricks to enchain us. It keeps us from our meditation. It fills us with pride of power, knowledge, and wealth. It makes us think we are above the master. It causes us to judge him on the basis of our own limited understanding. It keeps the mental commentary going so we cannot derive full benefit from attending satsang. It fills us with jealousy, ungratefulness, lack of forgiveness. It comes up with all kinds of excuses to keep us from doing selfless service. Causes us to camouflage our true selves when we go before the master. One object of the mind is to keep us from our spiritual goal. Although our mind tries to entice and entangle us in every possible way so that we deviate from the path, we have to deal with it with love. It is no doubt presently wild and uncontrollable, but like a wild horse, it can be domesticated, and then it can't even be useful to us. How can we domesticate the mind? Through the light of God and the music of the spheres. When the mind finds a greater attraction and more bliss within, naturally it gives up its desire for the transitory pleasures of the world. It's very succinct here. But the mind does not want us to even begin the spiritual journey. It is ensnared in the lower pursuits and tries to tangle us along with it. So in the beginning, we have to woo the mind, induce it, persuade it, cajole it to accompany us on the path. You think it'll go along with us? In the initial stages, we find that the mind is too strong for us to overcome unaided. We need the help of a living master so we can control our mind and ego. He helps us by enabling us to rise above body consciousness and traverse the inner planes. Once we transcend the causal plane, we bid farewell to the mind. Then we continue our journey until we ultimately merge in God. I'm reading from the satsang of Befriend the Mind. How do you become friends?
I like it.
That is the right technique to become friends. This is the satsang of the science of spirituality satsang. Yeah, of course, the mind, if it knew, if you made a deal with it, you have to make a deal. If the mind, when the mind goes up in meditation, it can become far more interesting and powerful, and it could go to its source. It could go to the universal mind. So if your mind would generally likes more, let's say, power, or likes more knowledge, your mind tends to like knowledge, so it could go up to its source. If you're going to your source, your soul's going to Sachkhand, and it's going to Trikuti or Brahm. It's to merge with Brahm, and you're to merge with Satnam.
You're talking to the YouTube. Why are you talking about Trikuti and all those things that they don't know? Saying everything with cat, towards cat.
So that it could be agreeable, dear. I'm just saying that the mind, your mind,
can make a good judgment.
Your mind can take an interest in meditation. Your mind could want to meditate because of its benefits it's getting as well. But anyways, that's the end of this. That was the Darshan Singh material.
There's no more reading. That was all the reading.
Yeah, but I have to do a second reading. It's only 9 minutes. This is the global satsang universally across the world. The satsang of 7 billion people.
You see,